Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. This week I've been focusing on self care, self soothing, how to make it easy for yourself. And in terms of affirmations, do you recognize the aspects of yourself that are thriving? That we live in a universe that matches us vibrationally through the law of attraction? If you understand that, then you'll appreciate contrast, because when things happen that show you what you don't want, you immediately have a rocket of desire that goes to what you do want. So it's as if you ask, and you shall receive, as JC said. So be in harmony with what you want. Allow it to be. Let it into your life. Because if you haven't figured this out yet now, it's never too late. That's what the gospel is all about. The happier you are, the better things go. So take that in, feed from it. All right. So we have to overcome the amygdala, that little part of our brain that's quick to feel unsettled in any situation that seems to be threatening. That means we have innate sources and resources inside ourselves. It's rooted in our own biology to be alarmed about things that could hurt us. But we often overdo that part. And remember, we also have aspects of our nervous system that are primed to look for what we want to see. So look for the good and watch how often it turns up in your life. Now, all we can do is promote the causes of the results that we want. If we do this, this is what we get. We're responsible for doing that, nobody else. And then you learn to relax attachment to the results. When you understand much of what happens to you and what determines whether it happens or not is not in your control. And when you realize that, you worry a little bit less about whether or not it will happen, and you suffer a little bit less if it doesn't happen. So, are you willing to look wider and deeper in your life? Assimilation, the way we're defining it, is the way we incorporate new information into our existing belief system. And then accommodation is the way we change our belief system based on the new information. So one thing I would suggest that will really help is in conversations with other people, don't assume you know where other people are headed. Don't preempt them. Don't be thinking to the extent that you can what you're going to say in response. Listen completely. Remember, so many people don't feel heard. It's a really important thing we can do for each other. So we want to go after our goals, not with the kind of drivenness of outer effort, but with an inner peacefulness. The reward is in the journey itself, no matter what the destination is. So one of the other things that I try to do to keep going with persistence, because remember, if you keep going, you may not reach your goal. But if you stop, you never will. So one way to help you keep going is to learn how to appreciate something about your body. I like to think about my hands, and not just because I used to have a CB that was called fingers, because I came from a family with large hands. But appreciate something like your hands. Do your hands not make you appreciate living? They're so unbelievable to have the opposable thumb. Not just things like buttoning, right? Or washing, or playing an instrument, or feeling different textures, or playing sports, using your hands to manipulate a golf club or a tennis racket, or a ball, a basketball of some kind, right? Or holding hands with someone, the beautiful feeling of the touch, the caress, the softness, the hand when you use a tool like a screwdriver or a hammer or a power saw, the hands that help you drive a car, the hands that help you scratch an itch, the hands that help you wash yourself. You get the idea? Unbelievable when you think about one thing in your anatomy that without which you'd be so different. Life would be so much less beautiful and interesting. Appreciate your hands. And then Don't whip yourself into a lather. You're about to keel over. If you do, we call it burnout. So live at an easier, more comfortable, slower pace to the extent that you can, and never divide your spiritual life from your outer life, because ultimately inner and outer are the same. Whatever your spiritual life is going to lead you to, it's going to be tested in the embodied life, in your daily life. So enjoy it to the max while you have it. I know that I do.